Welcome to Jets Overtime, presented by Nissan. Eric Allen inside the BetMGM studios. The New York Jets with a heart-stopping victory today over the Jacksonville Jaguars. The final at MetLife Stadium was 26-21. Anthony, a present, as we bring in Anthony Becht, a present underneath that Christmas tree for Ron Middleton. He gets the victory in his first experience as being an NFL head coach.
Yeah, I'll tell you, and it didn't have its lack of excitement throughout the game. You know, a lot of important decisions on multiple plays and special teams and fourth down opportunities and goal line situations. So, you know, Coach Middleton had a plethora of opportunities today to make those decisions. And, you know, for the Jets, it worked out. I think offensively, they ran the ball unbelievably. Up front, the offensive line did a fantastic job. You know, they were a little shorthanded in this football game, and they really did, protect the trenches and really come off the ball and make those holes happen for the backs today and for Zach Wilson. And, of course, defensively, although they were on the field quite a bit and they gave up some heavy passing yards, they made critical plays and stops when needed in the game, in particular that last drive, which was very suspenseful, but a nice team victory, especially when you can get the special teams involved with a touchdown today by Berrios.
Yeah. Coming up, we're going to hear from Michael Carter, Connor McDermott, and Zach Wilson. But Braxton Berrios earlier this week was named a first alternate for the Pro Bowl, and today he gave a Pro Bowl performance. Braxton, what does this win say about you guys after everything that you've gone through this week?
Heading in the right direction. Not much has been our way this season. Obviously, we went through a lot of adversity this week in itself. With all the COVID cases and injuries and all those things. But, you know, we're heading in the right direction, and this team's resilient.
What can you say about the way Ron Middleton conducted himself throughout the week, and then he gets his first win as an NFL head coach?
Absolutely. Wow, it's awesome. I love Coach Mid. He brought juice all week, really. And, we play hard for Solid. We play hard for Mid. We play hard for this team. This name on the front of our jerseys.
Braxton, you always bring the juice. 178 all-purpose yards. What about the 102-yard kickoff return that you took the pay dirt?
Honestly, it's I got to give credit to the 10 guys up front. They created seams, and I did my job in hitting them. What's up, Hardy? That's one of them right there. I did my job in hitting it, and honestly, it just worked out.
How about Zach Wilson? He set a franchise record in terms of rush yards on the ground from the quarterback position.
He was rolling. He's able to make plays with his feet, and that's what you saw when he saw Lane. When things broke down, he made plays. He's a playmaker.
And Braxton, finally, I wanted to know how you took in that final play, 4th and 1, where the defense stood up and you guys secured victory.
That's awesome. We said we needed one stop, and it doesn't matter whether it's at the minus 35, the 50, or the 1 yard line. They got it for us.
Braxton, go enjoy this one with your team.
I will.
Berrios this season for the New York Jets has really been something. Not just what his contributions have been on special teams. He was the leading receiver for the New York Jets today against the Jaguars. As we bring back Anthony Becht, you're watching Jets Overtime presented by Nissan. Berrios had 178 all-purpose yards today, AB.
Yeah, just a tremendous game for him. It's all about providing value. You know, Berrios is a guy that, he's not a starter on offense, but he continues to grind and know the offense and play multiple positions and really become a pro. And special teams, he's starting to solidify himself and separate himself as one of the best returners in football and in the game. And what that does is that extends your career, and that also extends your career with the team that you're doing it for. So when you can be a huge in offense when your number's called and make critical catches on third down situations where you're moving the chains, those are some really big opportunities that you take advantage of, and he did today. And then obviously that return, it takes 11 guys to make those things go, but you got to hit it with speed and confidence and learn and know where those blockers are, and he did a fantastic job on special teams as well.
Anthony, number 2 owns number 1. This was the 4th time in the modern draft era where 2 rookies got together, signal callers who were drafted 2-1, and Zach Wilson goes home with the victory. He did most of his damage with his feet today. Trevor Lawrence on the other side of the coin, I thought he played pretty well. He hit the open man, and he almost got the Jaguars a road victory.
Yeah, listen, these are two guys that I think both organizations feel really good about. It was nice to see Zach in the pocket today, go through some progressions and do some nice things on some throws. And then the legs. I mean, look, this is a guy that had a banged up knee a couple weeks ago. He looked very agile and quick and had some moves and making some guys miss and getting in the end zone. And, he knew when to throw and he knew when to run. And I think that's great. He also protected himself as a runner when those opportunities deemed themselves. So, kudos to the kid. As far as Trevor Lawrence is concerned, I mean, listen, you can see why was the number one pick of the draft. He doesn't have a lot around him right now. He's on time with his pass routes, some drops today, but he definitely, pushed the envelope today from a passing yard standpoint, did good. He didn't have any interceptions today, obviously with the one fumble, which was great to see by the defense. But again, just enough, in the tight red area defensively today and some of those third downs that were big and critical. But he did make some plays in between the 20s today with his arm.
Zach Wilson today, 14 of 22 for 102 yards with one touchdown. Interception free for third consecutive game, and he also churned in 91 yards on the ground. Zach, what does this victory say about this team after everything you guys have endured this week?
Yeah, just to take it a game at a time. It's been a rough season, not what we've hoped, but we got to put something good on film. So every single week we're going to keep fighting, keep going, and the guys we had something to prove today.
So take me to the sideline, 4th and 1 there. Trevor Lawrence has the ball. How did you take it all in?
Yeah, I was just hoping we got a stop. It was coming fast. They did a good job driving. I was just praying our defense could get a stop right there. So an awesome job by them locking it up. So it felt good. Wish it could have been easier, not on the 1 yard line, but we got it. So.
Hey, are you aware that you just rushed for more yards on the ground than any quarterback in franchise history?
Oh, wow. That's I don't know if that's a good thing for me or bad for everybody else. Yeah, I mean, it worked out. I wasn't planning on running. It just it kind of happened. I feel like I just had to take advantage of what the defense was giving me.
Well, can you take me through the 52-yard score?
Yeah, we got man coverage, pressure up the middle. I had a chance to dump it off underneath. Pocket closed, so I stepped up and I just saw a huge lane. All the receivers are going away from where I got out, and once I got by the sideline, I was planning on just going out of bounds, but he didn't hit me or push me out, so I just kept going. And then I think the second guy thought I was going to step out as well, and so I was able to cut back, and it ended up just working out for me.
Lastly, how cool of a moment was it for you guys and Coach Middleton after COVID had run wild throughout the organization throughout the week?
Yeah, really cool. He's got some passion, some great energy. The guys love when he's up there, saying his thing. So it was cool to have him step up and do his thing. But I feel like everyone individually had the right mindset coming into today and knowing what they had to do.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Zach Wilson 1, Trevor Lawrence 0. Hopefully those guys have long, promising careers. Let's go back to MetLife Stadium right now and bring in Ethan Greenberg. Much of the talk, Greens, this week was about the signal callers and potentially what they could do through the air. But for the Jets today and their banged-up offensive line, they got it done on the ground.
Yeah, that's right, Michael Carter. I know we spoke to him earlier. 118 yards on the ground, that's a career high for the rookie. And again, you kind of mentioned it. If we go back to earlier today, I mean, you're looking at a makeshift offensive line. Let's start at the left guard spot where Elijah Vera-Tucker, the rookie, the number 14th overall pick, has started every single game for the Jets. And then Dan Feeney steps in his place because AVT was placed on the reserve COVID list. Feeney, who had played every snap for the Chargers each of the last 4 seasons, slides in at left guard. And at right guard, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, who was starting for the Jets for the past couple weeks, He's out of the lineup as well because of COVID. Greg Van Roten slides back into his space there. And GVR started 9 straight games to open the year. This was his 10th. And the Jets really got after it on the ground. You mentioned Zach Wilson, Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman averaged 4.0 yards per carry. So the Jets really got after it on the ground, eclipsing 200 yards on the ground since Isaiah Crowell. That game against the Denver Broncos right here at MetLife Stadium. So the Jets, to your point, EA, got after it on the ground despite the injuries up front. And we don't know the status of Connor McGovern, who went down late in the game, and Dan Feeney shifted to center when he exited, EA.
Hey, what about the status of Connor McDermott? Because Caroline Hendershot had an opportunity to speak to him after the game. We're going to get to that here in a second. But he went out of the lineup for a few plays himself.
Connor McDermott. Well, Connor McDermott should just be, you talk about McDermott, right? He should be in great spirits because he's a guy, he gets his first touchdown. And just listening, I mean, I don't know if you've heard the guys talk about it yet. Zach Wilson, Michael Carter, they all love the dude. And Zach Wilson was talking about the play, and he's like, yeah, I threw it to him a couple times in practice, just trying to, satiate McDermott, have some, give the big guys some love. And he said that it came to fruition. And in the moment when Zach Wilson was rolling to his right, he was like, oh my God, am I really about to throw this ball to Connor McDermott? And sure enough, McDermott, I don't know what about you, EA, but I think it was a pretty athletic catch from the lineman. Don't you think?
Hey, hell of a job by McDermott there. Like I tweeted, you would have never guessed that you had to pick Connor McDermott on your fantasy roster this week, Ethan, but it was that kind of game. It was that kind of week, and the Jets got contributions all over the place. Good stuff from you. Let's now get to Caroline Hendershot, who talked today for mentioned Connor McDermott after this one.
Connor, we have to start with your touchdown today. What did you see, and how did you get open to get that ball?
I heard the play call, and I just got so excited because we've been running it all week. And then when our ball was snapped and I released, and then I realized there was no one on me, I saw Zach start scrambling. And right when he pulled up, we made eye contact. I called for it, and he made an unbelievable throw, and I just did my best to catch it.
Yes, you did. That was amazing. Did you like that celebration of the dog pile afterwards?
Oh, it was great. I didn't know if my guy Nick in front of me was helping me up, and then I was just so excited. And then I just got, as I was trying to get up, got dog pile tackled, and I just embraced it. I was like, let's go.
Now, all week, a lot of the talk has been about Robert Saleh being out with COVID, but Ron Middleton stepped up today. What did you think about the way he got his first win as an NFL head coach?
I'm just so happy for him. We worked so hard all week and just kept chopping wood and just treated like any other week, and it was a great team win.
And the offense was able to get all kinds of touchdowns today with different personnel and different players. What does that speak to with the versatility of this group?
Well, we just got a great group of guys, and everyone's willing to put in the work just to do anything to get a team win, and that's what we did today. We came together and just got a great team win.
And your quarterback, Zach Wilson, the theme with him all year has been being able to play more free, and he looked really free out there today. What did you see from him that you liked?
He was just smooth, calm, and confident, and just played outstanding today. I can't. That throw he threw to me was unbelievable. Couldn't have done it without him, and he played great today. I'm so proud of him.
All right, Connor, great job today. Go enjoy that win with the rest of the guys.
Thank you.
You're watching Jets Overtime presented by Nissan. Anytime your quarterback runs for more than 90 yards, you get a touchdown catch from your third tackle or reserve tackle, and you get a 102-yard kick return for a touchdown. You know it's got to be your day.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It was good to see Connor McDermott get that opportunity. Obviously watching him run a tight end route there, I've seen some great ones do that. Obviously, we all remember Jumbo Elliott's great catch in the Monday Night Miracle almost 22 years ago. So really cool to see. But I think, he showed off some very athletic and capable hands. I mean, he had to turn his body back. Now, I will say, if I'm going to be critical, he comes across unguarded. You want to settle in that open space a little bit. But again, only having 1 week, I think Coach Middleton said that Feeney had been really running that play and practicing that play for the entire year. And being that he got switched to guard, McDermott had the opportunity. They ran it a couple of times in practice and they caught it. So, that's what it takes to get those plays in the game. You got to have some confidence. You got to see it work in practice, maybe more than once, which I'm sure it did. And then obviously you got to trust that your tackle, who doesn't get a lot of those reps, is able to, hold on to the football any way possible. And he did, and was a good job. And people remember, he wasn't the first option, and Zach got flooded outside the pocket. It looked like the play was going to be a disaster.
Yep.
And then he got his head and was able to release the ball from a little more depth. So not only was it a short catch, the depth of where Zach was on that made it a very long traveling ball to get to Connor on that play. So just really good, excellent concentration by him to track that football and catch it.
How about Riverboat Ron Middleton? The Jets went for it on 4th down 5 times and converted on 3 occasions, Anthony.
Yeah, look, I think he said that they were, adamant about taking chances, strategic chances. It looked like they had some analytics into this game this week with some things that they had saw from the Jags in past games. And that'll come up, when you play, 13, 14, 15 games in the season, you'll have some tendencies. And I think they saw that. I think that I would say they were overly aggressive on a lot of situations. I think, right before the half, I mean, obviously, anytime you can take points before the half is always good, especially it was a very long drive. But, they decided to go for it. They didn't get it. You live with it, and puts a little pressure on their defense, but they came up big. And, of course, that fake field goal, I mean, again, very, very – it's a risk there. You take chances. Hopefully you get that look. They clearly thought that they had numbers on that side, but they didn't get the extra defender blocked, and it ultimately did not work. But again, just enough to make the team have enough points to win that football game. And you really do have to put it on the shoulders of everybody, special teams, defense, and offense, to really get those kind of W's. You're going to be that kind of risk taker during the game.
I think there was some foreshadowing there what was to come in this game, right? On Jacksonville's first possession, they had a fake punt that they converted.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, listen, right off the jump, usually those are the times where you see it, where you least expect it. And it was a big play for them, kind of got them going offensively. And, it kind of gets you thinking now on every single special teams opportunity, whether it's yours or theirs. And then it became more of a strategy as far as the game unfolded. But, the biggest special teams play was Berrios' return for the kickoff, return for the touchdown, which ultimately, gave the team back some momentum after they had Jaguars had just driven down the field and scored.
You think if the Jets are in that position again, 4th and 1, I know you got to have the feel of the game, right? It's analytics versus feel. But 4th and 1, it ended up working out in this scenario, but Jacksonville nearly grabbed that game at the end because they drove all the way to your 1-yard line. With a 23-21 lead, they opt there for 3 as opposed to going for the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach said it, he wanted to force them to go all the way down the field and score a touchdown. They put them up over a field goal. I think that if you're going to stay risky throughout the game, then obviously the pattern was there throughout. Every single 4th down opportunity, tight goal line, had some fireworks to it. So they stuck to their guns on those situations, and they felt like the numbers were on their side. And again, it worked out. You could sit here and we could talk about the scenarios when they don't work out and the team loses by a point or whatever that may be, and you didn't capture points when they were there. But when you win, then some of those analytics, they end up working to your favor. So at least they were committed to doing it on all the situations, and ended up working out for them.
Jets today, 36 carries on the ground for 273 yards. They averaged 7.6 yards a attempt. Michael Carter led the way. He reaches triple digits for the first time in his pro career.
Now joined by Jets rookie running back Michael Carter. Michael, a career day for you on the ground, 118 yards. What worked for you today, given that the 2 starting guards, Elijah Vera-Tucker and Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, out of the lineup today?
Yeah, we had some guys step up, up front especially, and they blocked till they couldn't anymore. So I got to give all the credit to God and the guys up front and the receivers blocking out wide. So,
hey, Michael, your 38-yard run that really set up the clinching field goal, should I say, for this team. What did you see on that play? And can you take us through the play from the snap to the end of it?
Yeah, I think just I don't know. It was a great play call. First, I'll start with that. Let me slow it down. It was a great play call. It was right on time. The guys blocked it up front. Nick Baldwin had a key block and all I had to do was squeeze through the hole. It was small, but I squeezed through it, and then just coaching myself up. I probably should have stayed in bounds there, but I'm glad that I have a defense that I can lean on, and just I'm so thankful.
Hey, Michael, back-to-back weeks that this team has been in games at the end of them. The offense was on the field at the end of last week. This week, the defense on the field. Can you take us through your emotions as you're watching the defense, but from the sideline, go through this 4-down stretch here and stop the Jaguars on 4th and goal?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what I was thinking. I I didn't get out of bounds on the last drive, so I was like, man, if they score right here, I'm gonna feel really bad. And um, it was just a moment in time. And but I never lost faith in my teammates. And football is a team sport, man. So you just whenever things don't go your way, you got to depend on your teammates to pick you up when you might not be at your high. So um, just I was so confident that they were gonna get the stop. And I want to give a quick shout out to Jason Pinnock, man. He played his tail off today.
Rookie to rookie love. Got to love that. Let's end with this, Michael. The message from Coach Middleton, right? Coach Sala, one of the guys that wasn't in the lineup today. The message from Coach Middleton to the team was what following the win?
Yeah, it was about taking advantage of opportunities and effort, technique, and violence. Effort, technique, and violence. So it wasn't anything that out of body that we had to do. We just had to take care of what we know how to do. So the passion that we play with today, I just feel like I'm so proud of. More than the win, just the passion that we play with. So moving forward, that's something that I feel like we can definitely build on.
Awesome, Michael. Appreciate the time. Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Effort, technique, and violence and passion. The New York Jets displayed all of those traits today in a 26-21 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Eric Allen inside the BetMGM studios, joined by Anthony Becht. Every time I hear Michael Carter talk, I just want to hear more because he's such a productive player on the field, but he also gets the big picture.
He does, very mature. Even when he was speaking, he said, let me take a breath, recall, and speak about it. I've been really impressed with him on and off the field. He's a very, very quality running back. Right now I'd say he was underdrafted in this draft. He's definitely playing like a first-round back, in my opinion. I think that's what they got out of him. So the kid's very elusive. He runs with power. People tend to maybe misjudge his size as the force of running that he actually has, his style. Which is really good. He rarely gets knocked down on the first contact, and he doesn't miss too many holes. So he's got really good speed. And for me, I just feel like he's a well-rounded back that can do a lot of things for you. And rarely does he make mistakes. He doesn't put the ball on the ground. He doesn't drop the football. And he's very accountable for a young player. And you're right, he does play beyond his years as a rookie.
Anthony. And he also pointed to Jason Pinnock. Pinnock was a day 3 pick in the draft, a cornerback at Pittsburgh. He started at safety today. This speaks to the adversity the Jets have gone through this season. Aside from COVID, talk about what they've dealt with at the safety position. They're going near 10 as far as different starters at the safety position. Today it was Pinnock and Will Parks. And Will Parks wasn't even on the roster last week.
Yeah, I'm proud of Pinnock because I'll forever be edge and stone announcing him when he got drafted for the Jets and then following his career. Just listen, that's not easy. Now it's not easy to go to corner to safety, and you're learning some things in the virtual meeting rooms, and all those things are difficult. And to play with confidence and be in the right spot and be around the football and understanding your read. Safety has to see a lot on the back end of the field. They don't have a particular player sometimes. It's more of a zone or area. They have to be right with their eyes. They can't be too aggressive, but not sit back too much because they can get beat underneath or beat on the run. So, those traits don't just carry over. You have to put the work in. And it's a big shout out for him and what he did. And again, we talked about this in the pregame about your opportunity to do things. And, maybe that's something that down the road that gives you even more flexibility as far as when you're continuing to build the secondary in the draft or free agency moving forward. So the more you can do, the better. And clearly the more he did today was better for this defense.
I'm thankful the Jets and the Jaguars selected their quarterbacks last year in Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, because otherwise we would have been talking about the 2022 draft all up to kickoff. As it is right now, the Jets are likely, or they could have, 2 top 10 picks. We'll have to see what happens with Seattle down the stretch. Jacksonville, meanwhile, they might have the number 1 overall selection for a second consecutive year, but it's got a different feel because they're not looking for a quarterback.
Yeah, well, that road comes down. I think, look, there's going to be a lot of work that has to get put in. I don't really think I can sit here and really think of the best spot for the Jets to be in or who those players are. I don't think this draft is as easy as many. I think it's going to be a little bit more detail, a little bit more work. I don't think it'll be a necessarily pick the best player. It could be more of a need or a fill position there, just because I think there's going to be a big gap of multiple players that can go from pick 5 to pick 20. And that's obviously going to be on the eyes of the beholder, Joe Douglas and Rex Hogan and Chad Alexander and Phil Savage and those collective minds, counting on their guys to find those best pieces. If it's anything like what they did in the last draft, I would be highly excited because, to me, I feel like they got, 4 quality players out of this year's draft that, are really big time key components to this building of this football team moving forward.
Shout out to C.J. Mosley. We have to mention him on every show. I mean, 10 tackles again today. He had the strip sack. The Jets weren't able to cash in with points there, but the guy's been Mr. Consistency, and he's been part of playoff teams before. He has never sulked at any point this season. A lot of people were wondering what he was going to be coming back after missing basically 2 years, and the guy's been a rock in the middle of your defense. So we salute him once again. Final thoughts on the quarterbacks here. Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, they will be forever connected.
Well, it really doesn't matter what Trevor Lawrence does because, that Zach Wilson's the guy that they got, and that's the guy the Jets and the organization, the fan base have to get behind and continue to build and grow. I think every week Zach has to find ways to improve his game. Clearly, his resume won't be complete after the season because he's going to have enough film and things to work on. He's going to get the feel of the game. He's going to get the feel of not having his roster at full capacity in a lot of games this year. He's going to get to go through the season and really critique himself hard. He loves to hit the film. He loves to put that work in. Well, this will be a huge couple games to finish. And, of course, an important offseason for him to really take huge steps and strides to becoming the quarterback that everybody hopes that he becomes. And that really is going to come down to, between the years for him and how he grows and growing a little bit of that confidence. And that can be helpful here in the last couple games of the season. He's going to play a big time defense next week versus the Bucs at home. And if he wants to get a tape to really look at himself and see where he is on finding blitzers and being in the right spot and delivering the football on time, it's going to be against the Buccaneers because they got one of the best defenses, and they're going to have a team that's coming in with a coach on defense that's going to have a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to want to prove something. Obviously, that's Todd Bowles coming back to the Meadowlands, so he's been really unbelievable the way he's got that defense cooking. It'll be a great test for Zach and the rest of his guys offensively come this week.
Zach Wilson, historic performance on the ground. The National Football League communications staff tweeted today his 52-yard touchdown run. He becomes the 4th rookie quarterback since 1950 with the 50-plus rushing touchdown, joining RG3, Marcus Mariota, and Fran Tarkington. As we close, Anthony, you just talked about what's ahead next week. I'll tell you what, beating the Jaguars is one thing. The Jets probably have the toughest remaining schedule of every team in the National Football League. You got Tampa Bay coming to town next week, the Pewter Pirates, Tom Brady, defending Super Bowl champions, and then you finish up in Buffalo. If Buffalo beats Atlanta next week, they'll be playing for the division title in front of their fans.
Yeah, well, I think it's actually a good thing for the Jets. I'll be quite honest with you. They get some of these bodies back from COVID protocol, and they have a lot of their forces on the field. You really do want those matchups at the end of the season. Be great to be a spoiler. Great to see if you can stay in those games. I mean, clearly it's an uphill battle versus the defending champion Buccaneers. But man, you're not going to go in there thinking anything. There's more pressure on the Bucs to maintain the level they're playing than really for the Jets. The Jets can come out and be loose and throw anything at the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers have to prepare for those. So there is some advantages when you're that team. And again, you get some bodies back that you can pose some things and get some positive things rolling. It could be a fun 2 weeks of the seasons for the Jets if they go out there and play stress-free, have fun, and put it all on the line.
Well said, Anthony. A great opportunity ahead for the Jets. We got to give a game ball to Ron Middleton, longtime NFL assistant. I actually played in the National Football League as a tight end, coached in college as well. He gets the shot on the sidelines today, and he leads the Jets to victory. Robert Saleh actually zoomed into the victorious locker room after the game. How about the virtual world we all live in? After a week full of adversity, the New York Jets can call themselves victors. And as we look ahead to next week in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jets fans, I just want to leave you with this fact. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have never won at the Jets. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, good night.